So, local to me, in the news, just happened. Shocking. Apparently, it's been going on for quite some time. This mom, you may probably haven't heard of it, uh, went to talk to the school about getting her daughter set up for the next school year and wanted to select a specific teacher that she liked, maybe talk to her friends. Doesn't really matter, but she wanted to tell the school, this is the teacher I want my child to get put into. This is an elementary school in Atlanta, which Atlanta is demographically heavily African American. And she was told by the school that the teacher she wanted to put her child in the classroom was not a good fit, and she wondered why. And she's like, "Hey, the reason why is because that's the white classroom." And she's like, "What?" And she'd basically be ostracized, and that she needed to have her kid put in the black classroom. And come to find out, the school was doing segregation. And you're probably thinking at first glance that's totally messed up. Come to find out, the principal is this lady right here in the white shirt, that's pictured here, and it's been going on for basically a year. So these news articles right here, you search conservative segregation class Atlanta, and you're going to find several articles regarding this coverage regarding this. Now, if you go and search for Fox, you will find it. They've got this lawsuit search. You can scroll and you'll find some more articles. However, if you search your liberal media outlets, they don't cover this. They've got this person right here. Here's GOP. This is not your liberal media outlet. It came up because of the segregation class Atlanta, but none of the liberal outlets are covering it. CNN's got no coverage of this. And so I find it kind of interesting that the coverage when you search is just so deep woven. I mean, they might have an article deep in one of their pages that just they're not allowing it to bubble up, but it's here. There's a lot of coverage about it, and it's crazy that you've got this principal that's basically separating the kids by color, and it's been allowed to go on. And then after reading into it, the school has taken no action. And it's been a couple days since it's been in the news. I'm floored. So I wanted to share this with you. Don't think that there's any one side of the news that's better than the next. I showed you Fox. I showed you MSNBC, CNN. News is on one side or the other, and they all, in my humble opinion, have a different agenda, a different master that they're serving. And so if you want to get the real news, you need to be vigilant about actually finding the news and absorbing it from multiple sources so you get the facts. It's just like when you see a situation and two kids had an altercation. There's this person's story, there's that person's story, and then there's what really happened. That's that couldn't be further from the truth with our heavily politically divided society. So I just wanted to bring this up, but this I think is a really important topic. And what I find interesting is because this doesn't serve the narrative of the left, because it's a African American principal who's instantiated these decisive segregation rules. It doesn't serve the narrative of white people oppressing African Americans. They're not pushing this, even though the liberal side is pushing such a racist narrative that white people are oppressing blacks, and that we're oppressing any minorities, and that's the case. But that couldn't be further from the truth. And white people shouldn't feel that they are somehow the evil spawns that are hurting everyone. Everyone has the same opportunity in this country. Everyone has. I grew up very, very poor. And it was a choice to be successful or not. So we all have choices. Now, we may not like the choices we're pushed up against. They're not always the best choices, but we all have choices, and we can rise above our situations, and it just depends on our personal drive and our push to success. And if you really want it, if you're thirsty enough, if you're hungry enough, you can achieve it. And the other big thing that's going to help everyone out is if we work together, if we continue to have that family unit, we continue to push to have these families together, these fathers in the home, that we don't have all these broken families, because that's the biggest proponent when you see racial divides and success rates is more and more white families have the father in the home, or the father still in the child's life, as compared to African American families. And that's a huge battle that we need to actually have those talking points. You want to have you want to talk about solutions. Those are solutions. If we want to just keep beating around problems and making senseless fights and race wars, we can do that. We're just gonna get nowhere. But these are real problems. This poor lady had a real problem, and this needs to get solved, and that we need to be talking about these real problems, and this is a real racial problem. You want to talk about real racial problems. These are real racial problems. So I wanted to share that with everyone. So be mindful of your news outlets. They often give you a skewed view of what real racial problems are, or what real news is. So go find the real news.